In March 2011, Taunton hosted a conference called Sustainable Business by Design. It was organised by the Somerset Design Enterprise Network and a range of partners to help businesses, designers and the public sector take full advantage of sustainable design. Over 70 delegates attended to find out how they might gain a competitive advantage whilst building their businesses around sustainable values.
I'm hoping to get some exciting feedback, some knowledge of how sustainability can help my business.
And I'm here today just because I like to be ethical and sustainable where possible. I'm just very interested in finding out how I can develop that in my business.
I believe in design, I believe in its value, and I think that's what brings me here. I see how it can attract customers to the business.
I suppose what I came here today for was obviously this is sort of not just the sustainable arm from an eco-environmental point of view, which is sort of so stereotypically associated with the word, but the broader picture.
Most small businesses want to be more sustainable. They know it's an issue. It's not that they're completely ignorant of what's going on around them. It's just that they don't really know where to start.
The aim of the conference was to help these businesses move forward by pointing out the commercial opportunities sustainability offers and emphasising the vital role that the design industry can play in helping companies build sustainability into all their business decisions. Organiser for the Somerset Design Enterprise Network, Andrew Nutt, is clear that sustainability isn't just good for the environment, it's a wise business move too.
Sustainable Business for Design is really about focusing on sustainability from a commercial perspective. So when we look at it from that sort of area, we have to look at the processes involved with business. So today is about venturing into all those areas. We're looking at products and processes, services and people. We're looking at branding and marketing. Great buzz in the air at the moment. It's only just 9 o'clock, everybody's buzzing. I've had lots of people say some really important people here today, so that's a good focus as well. So we're raring to go, and I know it's going to be a great day.
The first speaker was Marianne Goldbranson, who's the Head of Design Strategy at the Design Council.
I think it's really important to emphasise that when you start designing for sustainability, that it's okay to start anywhere. Keep it simple, start with the obvious stuff. Do you want sustainability to be one of your unique selling proposition or a hidden bonus?
Mark Shaler is a design advisor and eco-designer who's advised over 800 businesses, including Next, Dorset Cereals and Mercedes-Benz. He talked about the opportunities a low-carbon economy offers and about the urgent need for sustainable design.
51%, so 51% of everything we grow isn't eaten. That's wrong in anyone's book. Some of my clients, BQ, Gap, they're very interested in the carbon impacts of the things that they produce, but they're now beginning to look at the water impact. Something like a kilo of cotton, very water intensive crop, 11,000 litres. Design is the single biggest environmental tool that there is.
Sustainable design shouldn't ever be seen as a separate entity. It's part of standard design, and although that's doing myself out of a job, in 10 years' time I'd like all designers to consider sustainability within the brief.
The third speaker was John Bolt, Professor of Design Strategy at Brunel University and founding director of a successful product, brand and corporate innovation consultancy. He showed that with service design, you can reduce costs and rethink service excellence.
People in service industries don't seem to get it when it comes to making changes. This thing called service and innovation, it's a kind of leap of faith. Make the step across to build service design into your operation. And then sustainability just becomes one of those drivers.
John Luff is a sustainable branding and marketing specialist. He's currently CSR advisor to some of the world's top retailers and financial institutions. John discussed the practicalities of turning corporate social responsibility into a frontline reality.
CSR is about the long term. It has to be about the long term by definition. The long term positive contribution your organisation makes. Clearly there will be things driven by your own values. What is it you do simply because you believe in them? Everything you communicate, it is your promise, it's everything you do. Integrity is not optional. If someone asked you, one of your employees, what do you think about global warming? What do you think about? And if you said, we don't have a view, at best you'll look stupid, at worst you'll look like you've got something to hide. One of the problems, one of the big problems with the term corporate social responsibility is that first word, corporate. Because everyone assumes that it only applies to the big guys. course, the reality is that real change often comes from SMEs, from charities, from self-help groups, for anything that starts with small. And also it's these guys that are driving the big guys.
Speaking on behalf of the IT industry, Peter Hopton is a green IT specialist and manufacturer who represents the UK as a green IT expert on behalf of the Foreign Office. He revealed the startling unsustainability of the computer systems which businesses the world over depend on.
When you use the internet, you are not using this cloud of nothingness. You're using warehouses and facilities full of computer equipment. And a typical server in a data center has a similar carbon footprint to a Range Rover Sport. It's just one server. I think IT has the potential to change the world, but I want to see it not change the world in the wrong way. When I talk about the environment, I'm talking about materials that harm people in manufacture, in use, or in disposal. So harming people.
Between speakers, there were plenty of opportunities to explore issues more fully in small discussion groups. These breakout sessions allowed delegates to share concerns with their peers, explore new ways of thinking, and take full advantage of the visiting speaker's individual expertise. It was also an opportunity to raise any specific concerns.
If one could lead by giving those examples or case studies to your clients, then they start to get inquisitive.
About forming alliances and forming relationships so you can get that more holistic approach that you were talking about.
So could I ask for a round of applause?
By the end of the day's programme, delegates felt clearer and more confident about how sustainable practice might benefit their businesses. And the event generated a wealth of great feedback.
It was really great to come here and listen to the challenges facing SMEs, small businesses, government departments, about how do you build sustainability, how do you take corporate social responsibility and embed it in the fantastic things which these guys are doing. And the biggest learning point for me was I expected there to be big differences from what big corporates face and SMEs face. And it isn't. It's exactly the same challenges.
It's great to have an event like this, and it's probably that there are sustainable design conferences, but they tend to be for the environmental world or for big blue chips. This isn't. This is much more grassrootsy than that.
This has been an absolutely brilliant day with so many people coming up and saying how much they've gained from talking about services and particularly sustainability in service. Services are really important to the Southwest, which is a great sort of service-based economy, and using design, and particularly local designers, can make this really work for businesses if they apply themselves.
Bye. We've gone away with a lot of thought-provoking questions, which hopefully to be answered more so in the workshops down in Exeter.
Today's been really interesting. The last breakout session I was in, we've all come away completely buzzing with what we need to do to the whole design industry, basically to improve the way that we communicate what we do, because we're supposed to be the people who can communicate it. If we can't, how are we going to get other people to ask us for sustainability?
For me, in Taunton, and living in the Southwest, getting the kind of exposure and time with people like this really is fantastic. I can't think of another place that I would have been able to have found this kind of information.
The day's been very informative. The word at the moment seems to be interesting. I think it's beyond interesting. It's actually it's absolutely essential.
Came here to develop some ideas about branding and marketing the company and just generally sustainability, and it's been very useful.
Yeah, it's just really got me thinking about design and how we will improve the service in the company.
Very, very exciting day, very excited. And yes, I do feel that we're at the forefront of creating the change which we need to.